What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing today? This is Hood Tales of ConeHead coming to you live and direct. Uh, just wanted to shout out to all my subscribers and all my listeners, everybody who support me and rock with me on the heavy tip. Um, you see, I got my microphone. I'm down here by my little what I call my sanctuary. Come down here and sit and just reflect on things and just talk about life and things in general. It's been a busy last couple of days. I haven't been able to really get on here and talk. I haven't even done my podcast, but it'll be coming in the future. So just be looking out for that. I do my podcast, Hood Tales of Conehead, through Speaker, the app called Speaker. So once I get everything with that situated, I guess I'll be able to do some more content. But yeah, it's Thanksgiving Eve. I got this little gig, working at this little warehouse doing some janitorial cleaning stuff. Shout out to helped me out with a little situation, gave me a little blessing for holidays or whatever, and I'm very appreciative and thankful for that. But just wanted to come to y'all today, kind of on some chill shit. Really, like I had a situation that happened like a couple days ago, and it was just kind of shocking and kind of disturbing at the same time because I know the individual who with this, how this thing came about. This person should have already known that I don't even rock like that, and that's not how I even conduct myself, condone myself. I'm not acceptive of a lot of that shit. I really ain't. So it was kind of weird that I'm minding my own business, you know, just chilling, and somebody approached me. And the way they approached me, it was kind of how they approached me was kind of crazy within itself because um I'm at my storage unit. I'm looking for through some stuff, trying to find a couple items. The weather's changing, and I know at the end of the day, it was kind of like, well, let me get myself prepared for this cold front and things like that. Just little simple shit. And when I pulled in, I seen the individual getting stuff out of their unit. I have an indoor unit. They have an outdoor unit. So it was kind of strange that the individual came and asked me a question while I was in there going through my stuff. He just came in and said, "Hey, do you have any electrical tape?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't have electrical tape. Like I don't even have it. I'm not an electrician or none of that shit. So I wouldn't have no electrical tape. Sorry, sir. I'm sorry I couldn't help you." I thought that was the end of the shit. It was over with. Okay, no problem. I'll go back to doing what I'm doing. I find what I'm looking for. And I actually take advantage of that opportunity to, kind of clean up around my little van, get the stuff out the way, like trash and shit like that. I'm looking for stuff that I need to find to have for the next day because I had a consultation with an attorney about a situation. So as I'm cleaning out my van and I'm looking for something, the same individual comes back to my van, but I got the trunk open. So he's at the back of the rear of my vehicle while I'm like looking over the back seat for something. And it was strange how when he came and approached me that he asked me this question. The first question he asked me was I married? And I'm like, that's kind of unusual for a man to approach another man and ask him, is he married? So I'm like, no, I'm not married. And then he was like, I know you're not gay, but when I get high, I fantasize about sucking a dick. So I'm looking like, what the fuck did you just say to me, sir? I say, hey man, get the fuck away from me, man. Get the fuck away from me. So I guess he thought, you know, now mind you, this motherfucker got on a bandana, some glasses, and he had some marijuana leggings on with weed plants all over his leggings and boots. So I'm like tripped out when he came and asked me about that electrical tape for the first jump. He had leggings on with boots on, but I guess he do like construction work or some shit like that. I don't know. So hear me, people. Like I ain't never even played with nobody talking about no shit like that. Like I don't even like nigga can't say nothing about suck his dick, kiss his ass, none of that shit. Them fighting words. I don't give a fuck who it is. So when he said that, I started realizing I'm getting mad because I'm like, man, what the fuck are you really trying to do, buddy? Like, man, get your stupid ass away from me before I fuck you up. Do you know this man had the nerve to tell me, oh, nobody wouldn't know? I'm like, man, get the fuck away from me. Now, this is the shit that I have an issue with, and I don't give a fuck if you gay, lesbian, bisexual, whatever. Man, that man knew before he even approached me what time it is, because he asked two questions that he should already know that he shouldn't even have to ask. If you gotta ask somebody that shit, then you should already know that. Now, I don't understand the culture. I don't understand the lifestyle. I don't really give a fuck about it. It is what it is. You like what you like. Just don't bring that shit to me. But for that man that had the audacity to come up to me and ask me some shit like then told me nobody would know. Like, motherfucker, I would know. I don't give a fuck about no outside shit. I'm talking about me, myself as a man, as a straight heterosexual man that love pussy. I would know that shit. So why the fuck would you think or even have this in your mind? Like, I don't give a fuck if you high or not. That ain't no fucking excuse for you to come walk up to me and you don't even know me, a fucking stranger. Now, this is the thing that I had to realize about my growth as a person. I would have killed that man. I would have killed that man. If I would have had the necessary shit with me and if I wouldn't have been occupied with a phone call, and I think the phone call helped the situation. My son's football game was that day at 11 o'clock. I had that on my mind going to see my little man play, and he actually won the MVP. Shout out to Money Man. He won the MVP of the Keys to the City tournament. They team won. They beat whoever. They whooped that ass, and now they going to nationals in December. So I got these things on my mind at the time. That was more of a distraction, and it could have been a plan of the enemy because my reaction normally would have been I would have fucked that man up or probably killed him. One of the two. But this is what we get to understand with society, man. I don't care if they block or whatever the fuck. Man, if y'all into that shit, y'all be into that shit with the people y'all into that shit with. Don't be trying to come up here and try to approach somebody. I don't care if there are such things as men on the low, niggas that suck dick when they in jail and fuck men in jail and prison and shit and get out here in the streets and then they act like they fucking all the hoes, but they pass around diseases and shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that. But for you to have the audacity to come up to me and you knew the answer to your own fucking questions, but because you want to use the word you was high, that gives you the right to come approach me and ask me some shit. And then I was trying to be polite when I answered no the first time. That should have been it. But you thinking, oh, cause it's other men that do that shit. But I'm not other men, I'm me. I was raised by 10 gangsters and gentlemen. And that's never been something that I ever even was enticed about, even like I ever had an idea for. Like, I remember sissies when I was growing up, it was grown men that was sissies, and I could tell from just how they carried themselves, how they talked and shit like that, that's what that was. But I don't fuck around like that. So why would you even sit here and ask me some pussy ass shit like that? And then try to walk off, and that's what the insulting part was. He had the nerve to tell me nobody would know. Like, I would know, God would know, and you would know. And then when you get high, you might tell somebody else. So, and I never wanted to know you. I never asked you anything. I came there minding my own business, fucking with my own situation I had going on. And now I understand why some people be really stressed on that homosexual shit, because some of these motherfuckers feel like they got these little bullshit ass rights and shit to where if you do, like, if I would have fucked that man up, killed him, or did anything, any harm to him, I'm going to federal jail. I'm going to get locked up federally because it would be considered a hate crime. I just heard they shot the Sissy Club up somewhere out there, wherever the fuck it was, national news. But that's the thing. They giving these people way more rights than black people got rights. How they haven't been through shit. They ain't been through nothing. Gay been around since the beginning of time when like Sodom and Gomorrah was out. When Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible was going on. That shit was going on way back in biblical days. But at the same time, they pushing the agenda so fucking bad that it's ridiculous. Because everybody got the right to love who they love. Everybody got the right to fuck who they want to fuck and do what the fuck they want to do. But when you cross lines by fucking with people that don't get down with shit like that have no understanding and don't really give a fuck or care about it, that's when that shit becomes a problem. Because now you letting these faggots and these sissies and these homosexual motherfuckers walk around here with their chests out and they nipple rings and all this other fucking fruity shit, and they think they can just walk up and approach another man or another woman or come at you on some slideway slick shit and think they gonna try to pull you into that fucking abomination like they say in the Bible. And I'm like, and I had to understand that God been working on me, because ain't no fucking way, if I was in my regular mind, if I wasn't distracted, occupied, or anything like that, I would have beat the shit out that man, or I would have killed him with my bare hands. I had a knife in the car, and I'm saying to myself, but if God didn't have me focus on what I needed to be focused on, I would have been in jail right now fighting attempted murder, a murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, battery, all that shit. And it would have been considered a hate crime because he's a fucking faggot. And that's the fucked up shit about it. And I'm sitting there just shocked. Like, I had to call people and tell people what the fuck just happened, because I'm more in shock, because I'm like, damn, the old me would have beat the shit out that man. Like, I done shot at a nigga because a nigga said the word dick riding. And I'm like, nigga, who dick riding what? Like, you don't talk to another grown man like that. But I had to understand that man was Fruity Pebbles. But that's no excuse. Because if I would have done something to him, I'd have been the bad guy. If I'd have beat that man up or put my hands on him, assaulted him in any kind of, even kill him, I'm going to get in trouble, because you know why? They demonized heterosexual men. They demonize straight men, because then, oh, you homophobic. No, I ain't homophobic. This motherfucker just violated and disrespected some shit and crossed a line that I know in my heart of hearts that nobody else could have done. Like, this shit just outrageous. I'm looking at commercials where they got people, men kissing men and women hugging on women, and like, this is the norm. No, it's not. And I don't give a fuck who don't like it. I don't give a fuck about none of them groups, because you can't do shit to me. Because if I can give you an address, you can pull up and I'll fuck all y'all faggots and trannies and all that transformer shit up. Because I don't give a fuck. I don't care about this world. I don't care about the reality they try to make us believe that we in. I don't give a fuck. But you don't fucking don't come across my path with that shit. I know plenty of people who swing that way. I'm not associated, affiliated with no way. I met a cool dude in jail, and he was cool as fuck because he was honest about who he was. He didn't play. He didn't pretend. He told us what time it was with him. We respected his honesty, because when I was in that motherfucker, it was a gang of niggas in there that's out here in the street walking around right now acting like they real niggas and they men and they this, that, and the third. And them niggas in there fucking white boys. Them niggas in there getting their dicks up by men. And that shit was horrible. Nigga got PTSD because these motherfuckers, dude almost got raped in that bitch in the same dorm I'm in. So I ain't accepting that shit then. I ain't accepting that shit now. So I never even got an opportunity to even get this person's name or none of that. Cause man, I would have went and hunt for this man, caught him slipping, hit him in the back of the head with a fucking hammer, and left his ass in a paraplegic or a motherfucking vegetable. If I was in my other state of mind. And that's why I had to come and do this shit. I've been meaning to do this shit happen Sunday. But God had me so focused on my son. He had me so focused on what I had going on at the time that I didn't even entertain that shit. I didn't get mad until after the fact. I was more like in shock. I was more like, damn, like you fantasize about sucking a dick. Like, why would you think I would even want that from a man? Why? Yeah, it's niggas that walk around with tattoos and gold teeth and dreads and bald heads and braids and all that shit. And them niggas be giving that shit up and they be taking that shit. And I guess he thought I was gonna hop down with that bandwagon too. And I don't even rock like that. And that's the disrespect. But then I do something to this man, I'm the bad guy. I'm the one who has to go to jail, have to get arrested federally because they gonna charge me with a hate crime, all because of a fucking faggot. But world, we gotta wake up and see what's really going on out here. They pushing that agenda so fucking bad that it's crazy. I'm watching commercials and I'm sitting here looking at commercials with grown men holding hands and kissing, and they got TV shows, they got all kind, like it's no discretion. Like, what about the fucking kids? Y'all got this shit going on where the schools telling the kids they can be what they want to be gender wise. My homeboy, he stay up on top of that shit. He like, bro, they got this shit where the teachers telling the kids at this elementary school that if you don't want to be a girl, you don't have to be a girl if you born one. You don't have to be a boy if you was born a boy. You could. It's like it was so funny that they had this thing on Joe Rogan where he was talking about this girl mama went to the school board and told them to put a kitty litter box in the motherfucking bathroom because her daughter identifies as an animal. Like it done went too fucking far. It's shit is out of control, but I understand